Hey fellow gliders, welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at the single value column. If you haven't ever used the single value column, it's a computed column in Glide where you can take a value from any table and bring it into another table and copy it down across every single row. Pretty useful. There's a variety of use cases for it, but today we're going to take specifically a look at the whole row feature of the single value column. So what is this whole row feature and how can we leverage it? Let's take a look. In Glide, there are several ways to bring in a value into a table. One way is to use a template column. And a template column is really good at bringing in a user profile value into a different table. So let's say all of these items have a certain quantity and I want to compare it against my quantity, right? What I could do is I can create a template column and I can reference the user profile table and bring in that value, all right? Not gonna do that for this video. We could also do a math column. Math column will do a calculation across every single value or some sort of static value. Like for example, I could do the math column and I can bring in today or the now value and have that copied down, or just any number and have that copied down, or some sort of calculation. But besides the template column and the math column, if you wanted to bring over a static value from one table into another, you can use the single value column. So here I'm gonna add a new column. Under type, I'm gonna search for single value. And now it's prompting me to select what value I want to bring in. So I'm gonna search for the source. In this case, maybe I have a list of images that I wanna bring in. Right, so the image is in the name column here, so I'll bring that in. And here you can specify which image you want to bring in from my list of images. I can bring in the first image, the last image, a random image, right? Or I can specify which row. So I could say from the start, so this is row 1, row 2, row 3, and row 4, right? So you can get some trickery happening with this row value by leveraging or referencing some sort of index to bring in a specific value, right? But if you noticed, there's another feature of the single value column, and that's bringing in the whole row. So if I bring in the whole row of images, okay, now instead of a specific image, right, I'm bringing in the entire row. So now you see that this is not an image any longer, but rather it's a relation that's going to that row. Okay, so that begs the question, when would we want to create a single value relation to another table? Now there's a variety of reasons of why we want to do this, but the two use cases that I have come up with in my experience of developing Glide apps all pertain to relating to a single row table. For example, here we have an about screen or an about table, which is just one row table with a bunch of information, right? We also have a feedback form, right? So this is a custom form in Glide, what we call it, which is using user-specific columns. And we are going to have a one row table where we want users to fill out this value for each of these columns, right? And then we're gonna submit this information to another sheet like the form entry sheet here, okay? All right, so the benefit of having this relation or this single value relation here is that now we can reference the tables from anywhere in the app. The best way to do this is by creating that single value in the users table. If you don't have a users table, then just pick whatever table you most often use in your app. Otherwise, the users table is a great place for this because we can reference those values from anywhere in the app. Now remember, when you're creating a single value column and leveraging the whole row feature, you are creating a single relation to that row. So I can treat it as a relation. So in my users table, I'm gonna create a new column. It's gonna be a single value column. And I am going to point it to first maybe my about screen. So I'm gonna say rel about table, right? And I'm gonna get the first row, which is the only row, from the about table. And I'm gonna grab the whole row here and hit done. All right, so now if I were to double click into this, we see all of the values, right, in our table. So because this is a relation, if I wanted to, I could do a lookup on this single value. So I could say, you know, about screen title, which would just be a lookup of the relation and grab the title. Okay. Now, this is kind of redundant, right? If I wanted to bring in the about screen title, I wouldn't do it this way necessarily, right? I would probably actually just grab the about title right from here, right? I wouldn't do the whole row and then a lookup, but it's just it's an option in case you wanted to think of it that way. Okay. And then let's say I wanted to create a relation to this feedback form. Right, I can do that exact same thing. I'm just going to duplicate this column and say rel feedback form. Grab rid of the first, which is the only of the feedback form whole row. All right, and we can see these are the values in that table. All right, so now that we have these single relations in our user table, now we can actually build out some functionality for it in the app. So let's say I wanted to create a button on every screen in this app that links you to our about table. Right now, obviously, I could just create a screen from the about, right? And have information about the about section here of our app. And then all of my buttons just point to this screen. Right? But if you wanted to keep your app clean without a specific about tab, right, then you can just build it using a button. And so what you can do here is in the action for that button, right, we're going to show the details screen for the About Us, but we're not going to show the details screen of this screen that we're currently on. We're going to show the details screen of our user profile about table. Okay, so now if I go to About Us, we see that this is the details screen for that table. So you see all this information is there, right? So here I can add in the title, I can add in the description, right? I can add in some fields. And away we go. All right, and now because this is a details screen, it doesn't matter where I place that button on which screen, I'm going to get a consistent screen every single time. Just so you see it. So here in this categories, right, I can create a new button here if I wanted to. Right, and this button can point to the About screen. And I'm going to show details screen, not of this item, but rather of user profile about table. Right? And you're going to see that consistent screen. So you only have to build it once, which is fantastic. So in addition to displaying a detail screen with some static information, you can also point buttons to a custom form. A custom form in Glide is just basically a form you're creating on a details screen rather than using the built-in form screen that Glide offers. Now, the form screen has some really nice features. It allows you to quickly and easily, submit a form without having to clear things. It only has one update per entry, which is fantastic. But the one downside to using form screens is that if you want that same form several times in different places throughout your app, you're going to have to recreate that form every time. Now, depending upon which screen you're placing that form button on, right? It's possible that you can just do a copy paste of the button or copy and paste of the components within that form and save yourself some time that way. But it's going to be super efficient to just create a custom form once on a detail screen and then just point users to that detail screen every time you want them to fill out the form. All right, so here's how that would work. So let's say you want to create a second option about us and then maybe contact us. It's going to be a contact form, right? And on this form, we're going to show a detail screen, right? So instead of doing a form screen, we're going to do a detail screen, and we're going to point it to the rel feedback form. Now, I want this to kind of look like a form, so I'm not going to do current, but rather I'm going to do an overlay like that. And so when I hit contact us, okay, now I get this blank screen. But this is going to be the entry fields here. So we have name, feedback, and callback number. So let's add in some entries for those values. Okay, so the first thing here is I'm going to enter in some text entry. That's going to be for the name and for the feedback. Right? Feedback can be maybe larger like that, and then a callback number. So that'd be a phone entry for the callback number. All right, and then afterwards, we'll place a button. And this button is going to be submit button. So we'll say submit. And we want it to not only submit the form, but also clear these values for next time. So it needs to be a custom action. So we're going to do two things. We're going to add a row, and then we're going to clear our values. So we're going to do a set column, and then actually go back a screen. So we're going to close our overlay. Okay. So we're going to add to the form entries, and we're just going to pick values here. So the email is going to be the user's email. Phone will be the phone number that they type in. Feedback, and then let's see, their name will be the name. Yep. And then timestamp will be the current date and time. Okay. Afterwards, we're going to clear those values that they've entered in to reset the form for next time. And again, a form screen does all of this for us, which is why it's more efficient, but you have to rebuild it, especially if you have really complicated forms. So this is more efficient if you have really complicated forms. And then close the overlay. All right, so this is complete form and reset. And then we're safe. All right, so I've only built this form once, which is fantastic. All right, so here's my name, here's my feedback, here's my number, and then submit. Okay, and now it submitted that form for us, and we can see that it did that by going to the form entries, and there's the information that I just put in. Okay, so I built that functionality on a detail screen, which means anytime I access that detail screen from anywhere else in the app, it's going to be the same. So again, I can create a brand new tab here. And on this tab, I can create a new button. And I could say contact us. All right. And again, I can just point it to the detail screen. So show detail screen of that custom form. So now if I click it, we're going to have the exact same functionality. So any component that allows you to have an action can have that functionality, which takes you to that feedback form. So those are just two use cases of using the single value whole row feature, but as you can tell, it works really, really nicely for helper tables, for working tables, or for showing a details screen from anywhere else in the app. If you have any questions at all, feel free to leave me a comment below. You can also reach out to me at Twitter @rpetito. And as always, thanks for watching.